The South Today Bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, a big decision is made in Dunedin as the City Council discusses plans today to reduce climate emissions. The Canterbury Museum is being revived after being stripped back to almost bare bones back in the Christchurch earthquakes. And some Southland primary school pupils are showcasing their artistic talents, looking to get their work published. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. Climate activists rallied together in Dunedin today, calling for the City Council to immediately adopt a plan to protect our climate. Dunedin City Councillors voted for a zero carbon plan today, as experts warn time may be running out.
What do we want? Zero carbon!
Protesters taking to the heart of Dunedin, urging city councillors to make a change. The group presented the Dunedin City Council with a petition that had over 500 signatures and a push for a zero carbon plan by 2030. They were protesting outside the council's meeting on Monday as they heard from the public before debating and voting on the proposed plan. Otago University marine science professor Abby Smith was among the speakers at the public forum, where she suggested it's time to start taking urgent action.
Climate change isn't something that's distant in the future that our grandchildren will deal with. It's right here and it's right now. And this is certain, it will get worse. We are neither preventing disaster, nor are we prepared for it when it comes.
She's calling councillors to vote in favour of the net carbon zero plan, warning that the mitigating climate change is a matter of life and death.
It's inconceivable now, and it would be unforgivable if we were not to formally adopt the plan.
Both the Otago University and Te Whatu Ora have expressed their support for the plan's adoption, hoping to ensure a safer environment for the public.
This plan is required to make the city do its part in that global effort to fight climate change. If we're not doing our part, how can we ask that anyone else does?
Mayor Jules Radich was among the majority of councillors who voted in favour of adopting the plan, with the final vote counting 11-4, which was met with a small round of applause. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The aftermath of last week's wild weather continues down south, with a landslip in Queenstown made worse by human intervention. The resort town had a month's worth of rain in a single day on Friday, causing floods and landslip, putting the area in a state of emergency. The weather caused a huge landslip down Gondola Hill, bringing felled logs hurling down to the township. Queenstown's historic cemetery was engulfed by the deluge of forestry slash, damaging a number of headstones, but inspectors believe everything is fine with the graves below ground. The forestry waste came from the upgrade work on the Skyline Queenstown gondola, with the stacked logs waiting up on the hill to be removed. The Queenstown Lakes District Council are looking into how long and why the logs were still on the steep hill, and are urging families to steer clear of the area during clean-up. Fundraising efforts have ramped up to replace the historic Lyttelton Museum, which was destroyed in the Canterbury earthquakes. It's expected the new multi-million-dollar museum will bring the port town's rich cultural history and personalities to life.
Littleton's story set to be retold. Fundraising efforts for a new $12.5 million museum in Littleton have started in earnest. The Littleton Historical Museum Society recently appointed a professional fundraising consultant to help kickstart their fundraising campaign, which had been put on hold while amendments were made to the building's design and the consent application resubmitted.
Yeah, what we're hoping is that the professional fundraiser would assist us gaining funds from perhaps companies and trusts and maybe people of special interest in the museum that might be interested in donating.
The Volunteer Society's ambitious campaign has a $12.5 million target, $10.3 million of which will be used for the building. Littleton has been without a museum since its former Christchurch City Council-owned building was severely damaged in the Canterbury earthquakes. Ruff says Te Waka Lyttelton Museum was a striking design that would be a potential attraction for the port town.
So we wanted a purpose-built museum for housing our collection, and also we said we would like the building to be, reasonably bold and appealing and inviting, something that would perhaps attract people in its own right.
He said Littleton needed a museum because of its huge cultural history. It was an important place of arrival for Maori and European settlers, and a departure base for Antarctic explorers.
We'll concentrate on the Antarctic aspect, the maritime aspect is another one. There'll be stories told of Littleton locals. There's some pretty interesting characters that have lived here or do live here, so there'll be stories told about and by them.
The Society is hoping work on the project could begin within 2 or 3 years, helping to preserve Littleton's rich and colourful history. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Cavi enthusiasts from across Otago made their way to Dunedin over the weekend, showing off some of their furry best friends. Guinea pigs of all colours and sizes were on display at the Carisbrook School grounds on Sunday, competing at the Otago Cavi Club's Guinea Pig Show. With a range of prizes up for grabs, the small pets were judged on their tameness, cuddliness and piggishness. 15-year-old club president Josh Wilson-Jones has around 50 guinea pigs of his own and says his favourite thing about the friendly animals is their fun personalities. The club hopes their event will help promote better health awareness for the furry pets, encouraging everyone to follow New Zealand's breeding standards. Stormwater systems around central Dunedin are getting a makeover, with the Dunedin City Council hoping bigger will be better.
The stormwater pipes being laid in St Andrews Street have more than tripled in size, with the previous 375 centimetre wide pipes being replaced by new ones with a width of over 1.3 metres. The DCC is expecting the bigger system to reduce the risk of surface flooding, boosting the stormwater capacity of infrastructure along the street. This area has been historically prone to flooding, with road workers installing the pipes as part of the central Dunedin retail area upgrade.
This is a 1350 stormwater pipe that's going in the St Andrews stormwater system. It's going to be placed in probably tomorrow afternoon, and we'll nearly complete the works.
The Farmers Block down George Street is closed off to traffic until the end of October as the work is completed, with some of Faleel Street also only down to one lane. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Some of Southland's special young children are using their imagination and creativity to tell a story through a unique perspective. Enrich ILT pupils have been working hard over the last school term, producing a novel with the help of some experts.
Southland's young creative minds showing off their work, giving a sneak peek into their new project. Enrich ILT held the first day of their open week on Monday, presenting these drawings their pupils have been working on for their graphic novel, What's Inside. Dunedin illustrator Janet de Wacht had been mentoring the young children through the entire process, helping them put their creative thoughts on paper.
Some of them suffer from perfectionism, and for some of them it wasn't perfect enough for them and they weren't happy. But Janet is the most amazing guide on the side for that, and she just was able to talk them through it.
The novel takes readers on a journey through Murihiku, telling a creative story of the region's history through the eyes of a small Kiwi. Around 200 children from the learning establishment helped bring the graphic novel to life, each adding their own artistic input.
So they had to learn to work as a whole group as well as an individual, and that's quite challenging for adults and very challenging for children as well.
The pictures were later combined with the words written by Bluff poet Cilla McQueen, with the project creating a great learning experience for the pupils.
I could do so many different pages and I got to experience so many new different things.
Enrich is currently working with He Waka Tuia to digitise the children's work, hoping to have the completed graphic novel displayed in an exhibition by late February. In Invercargill, the South Today.
FI Yakane still to come on the South Today. Against all odds, the Alexandra Blossom Festival pushes on with a display of colour and life, and a Southland library gets a fresh lick of paint.
Earth is a planet of extremes. Extreme places and extreme animals. But some animals are more extreme than others. Join us as we count down to find the most unusual, the most extraordinary, the most extreme.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
You're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer. You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
That's the sound of prices being slashed in My Mate John's Price Attack! He's cut 20% off rugs and mirrors. There's 30 off bedsides and tall boys, 32 off TV units and lamp tables, and a whopping 45% off king beds. Plus tons more in store now. Price Attack! Only at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street, and online at mymatejohn.co.nz.
Furniture from Stafford Street and My Mate John.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
Drop when you...
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Floats swept through Alexandra's main road at the weekend as the annual Blossom Festival showed off its colours. There were double doubts that the festival would go ahead, but the bad weather cleared for the event's much-loved parade.
Floats of all shapes, sizes and colour, delighting crowds lined up along Alexandra's main road. Thousands of people cheered on the variety of vehicles on display as the central Otago town hosted its annual Blossom Festival parade. There were concerns the festival wasn't to be after wild weather swept through the region late last week, forcing Friday's events to be canned. It's the first time parts of the festival's been cancelled due to the weather. But a calm, cloudy day meant the floats could hit the streets, showcasing the hours of work locals put into putting on a good show. The town's Pioneer Park was brimming with activities, with plenty on offer for those wanting a bite to eat, as well as some carnival classics. It's the 66th year the event's been held, with the parade a mainstay in the region's calendar. In Alexandra, the South today.
A Southland library is getting a splash of colour as some cultural artwork is unveiled in the new space. Even though the Gore Library officially opened earlier this year, the fresh, vibrant addition is giving locals another reason to celebrate.
Performing a traditional Māori blessing, welcoming these newly installed art panels at the Gore Library. Otago creatives came up with the Maori design for these 5 art pieces, which was officially unveiled on Wednesday night. Owner of the design agency, Jordan Tuhura, says he's proud of their creation, believing it resonates well with the library's purpose, providing food for the mind.
Artworks themselves are made out of perspex, and then we've got vinyl, so we've got a board and then vinyl at the back of it, and then LEDs around the frames, which helps it to light up.
Tuhura suggests the vibrant patterns on the panels showcase the connection between the different worldly realms, representing the natural environment of the library.
The artworks that are behind me represent mahinga kai, in particular the gathering of food and sustenance from here in Hokonui.
Gore Library says positive feedback has been pouring in from the public regarding the new artwork, thanking the community's huge efforts for making it all possible. In Gore, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The Dunedin City Council has voted 11-4 in favour of the Zero Carbon Plan 2030 after today's public forum. Fundraising efforts have ramped up to replace the Lyttelton Museum, which was all but destroyed in the 2011 earthquakes. And Enrich ILT pupils have designed their very own graphic novel, taking readers through a unique journey of Southland's history. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome Associate Editor Mike Houlihan. Hello Mike.
Good evening, Hannah.
What can we expect in Tuesday's paper?
Well, we're following your lead there with the DCC and its Carbon Zero plan, extensive coverage of the politics and also the public submissions on the plan before the Council has begun their deliberation.
Great, that'll be good reading, thank you.
There's also an extensive update on the cryptosporidiosis outbreak in Queenstown, which appears to be getting larger. Right. We've got updates on the Haast Pass and some of the tourism operators in that part of the world who are worried about how long it's taking to get the road open again. Speaking of travel, it's our travel section tomorrow being a Tuesday, and our travel writer's gone to Sussex.
Nice.
And in sport, there's extensive coverage of the Rugby World Cup, including the Wallabies being absolutely flattened by Wales today.
All right, thank you for sharing this evening, Mike, and we look forward to reading.
Thank you.
Time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, it's a cold and rather cloudy week ahead, with fronts due on Friday and Saturday, potentially bringing periods of wintry feeling weather. Heading to the top of the South Island, gusty southeasterlies and rain up north with 14-degree highs in both Nelson and Greymouth, while in Christchurch it's wet with strong southwesterlies and a high of just 10. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, southerlies and rain with 9 in Ashburton and Timaru tomorrow, but it should be dry in Uamaru with 10 degrees, moderate winds and cloudy skies. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, looking fine with easterlies and 11-degree highs in Queenstown and Wanaka tomorrow, with Alexandra getting clear skies too, but with a slightly warmer high of 12. Heading further south, nice and fine through here with light winds and highs of 13 degrees in Gore and Balclutha, with a windy and more cloudy 11 degrees in the Catlins. Across to Invercargill, it'll be fine but cold tonight as it drops down to 1. Then the next 2 days will be a bit windy with lots of sunshine and highs of 13 degrees tomorrow and 12 degrees on Wednesday. And finally, heading to Dunedin, breezy nor'easterlies and clear skies make for a lovely evening before it drops to 7 overnight. Tomorrow's a mix of sunshine and light winds before late cloud and southwesterlies pick up. The day's high will be 11 degrees. Into Wednesday, and it's a similar story, but it will be overcast at times, bringing showers and a cooler high of 9 degrees. And that's the news this Monday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. And you can also follow us on Facebook. Just search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite o popo.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.
The South Today Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists. Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today. If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
John's Price Attack! He's cut 20% off rugs and mirrors. There's 30 off bedsides and tall boys, and a whopping 45% off king beds. Plus tons more in store now.
My mate John.
Living Well Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
UPVC Windows and Doors is a local Dunedin company who manufacture, install and service everything they make. Sign up this month for a free glass upgrade. Call UPVC Windows and Doors today.
Great Britain has a collection of varied landscapes and countryside to rival anywhere else in the world. And the best way to see it is to walk.